Welcome back to the Forge for another Rusty production. Today we're going to try something a little bit different. Which is a little bit different? Well, it's me trying something I haven't done before, so maybe it's a little bit the same. But I'm going to try something that I haven't done before and I haven't seen that many YouTube videos on, which is to make a spoon. Inspired by Black Bear Forge, one of the other YouTube channels. He created a flux spoon recently and I thought that looked fantastic. So what I've decided to do is, inspired off the back of that, is try to make a serving spoon, something that we can use in the kitchen. So I'm going to use this 5mm square stock and let's see how we go. Bit of charcoal to get this one going. Start this by scoring about there. Try and upset this metal a little bit. I'm sticking it out a little bit through this middle part. Alright, I'm just going to use this fuller edge to blast it all the way through and thin it out. The edge on the face of this spoon. Give it a little bit of a 1-2. I'm thinning out the handle a little bit more. Now this is going to be too long. I'm going to have to take a piece off the end there, probably somewhere around that spot right there. But I'm just going to thin it out a little bit more and taper it down somewhat before I am finished. One of the things you'll notice is, as far as mistakes that I'm making, I don't have any process. So basically I'm working here, and then I'm changing over and working there, and I'm just working back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, which is kind of like moving it and shaping it in the right direction, but it's killing any sort of efficiency. So I get that this is the first time I'm doing this, so I actually don't know what the process is, but it's clear to me at the same time that a lack of process is the thing that's making little projects like this take hours. So I've just thinned it out a little bit through here and here, just to push some of that material back up into the middle, so it's just a little bit fatter. Because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to fuller it out left and right, and then clearly the whole thing needs a bit of a clean up, but it's just to get a little bit more material out and create more of a circle shape. Let it back up before doing more than that, but you can see that's starting to widen out a little. Right, just going to keep drawing that out. Alright, definitely thinned out, but I'm going to have to make that even thinner. The spoon will just be too thick at that size. So I'll see if we can balloon it out a little bit more. We'll chop off the end, and then we've got to look about using some wood to round it out. With the spoon cavity, I guess itself, the head of the spoon, I need an area that I can actually shape it in. So I need something that I can actually use the ball peen to start shaping it out so that we get that sort of egg shape, I guess. So I've thinned and loosened out the handle. You can see it's come out a long way. I'm just going to clean up a little bit on the face of this spoon. And in the next hit, I'm just going to cut this piece off here on the chisel, and then we can start looking, just clean this up a little bit with a file and a grinder, and then I'll come back and round it out. Alright, I'll just clean this little piece up here, and then we might just file it around and well, grind it around. It's quite hot still. So that we can just get a cleaner shape to start working with before we bring the bowl in and start rounding it out on the wood. Alright, so here's where we're up to. We're working with a spoon, and we're now going. It's still fairly thick, but this next stage is going to thin it out further. So I'm going to take this hollow through here. I think you can see. There, you can see that. Yep. And we're going to start working that into there to get it to round out more. This is all just an experiment. This is not a how-to. We're just going to see how it goes. Going in the right direction. See, there's a spoon. It's still got a long way to go, obviously, and I've got to get the sides right. I've got to work out how to. I might have to actually just hold this down a little bit tighter so I can get right into those side parts. But that's the direction I'm after. So as for this lighting on fire all the time, that just might be part of the process. Got it all locked down now. actually on the right track. I've just got to clean up this edge here and make it sort of curve back around. And then it's actually not too far off. It's fairly thick, the material still. And I think I can actually grind that back and polish it up if I wanted to do that, but I think I want to leave it as a big black spoon. So I'll finish this edge here, then I'll look about cleaning this up, and then we'll look at this taper out here and see what we can do about cleaning this up in the end. So look, I'm actually not unhappy with the way that's going. I'm going to clean up the neck of the spoon here a little bit, right on the tip of the horn. So quickly flashing forward, it's another day, and it's really loud in here because I'm trying to do some forge welding. So I've got the forge right up high, and I might be melting it. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. I've got the end of the spoon here. I'm just going to be careful holding it too because it's actually still hot. I've tapered it out as far as I want to taper it. It's the thickness that I'm after, but it's too long. So I'm going to have to cut it about here, so I'll make some indents and try and get it to as round as possible before I chop it off. And then we will go about finishing that as a round top with a punched hole in that. And you can see there that there's a decent warp to the spoon itself as far as how in line it is with the handle. So I do need to twist that back, and I also will be playing around with getting a little bit more thinness through the spoon. So you won't see all of that, but you'll see some of it. So I'll cut this piece off here, and we'll look at finishing it up. Bend the spoon back in the right direction. I think it was as easy as that. Well, that was really cool. Actually, that was super easy. I didn't think I'd be able to turn it with my fingers, but so I had it on just the right heat. Just going to thin out through the middle here. The neck there is very, very hot, so it's just jumping around in my hand a bit. Gotta be careful I don't go warping it again. Just gonna score where I'm gonna put the hole to hang this spoon. It's just about there. So it's gonna get a nice free punch. We'll go probably. I want to get it right in that centre of that circle, so take my time. Oh, it's a bit hot. Oh, slug's just on through. Cool. There's the hole. Just need to clean it up a little bit. Just put another heat and then we'll finalise it. So I'm pretty happy the way the hole's come out. Just going to burnish this end, because then I'm going to burnish the front of it, and then we're going to put some linseed oil on to finish. And I can't heat the whole thing up at once because it won't fit in the forge. Nearly forgot the touch mark. It's got a few little dents in it, just through here, things like that, but you know what, I'm going to leave them in. I could actually get them out at this point, but that rustic sort of nature of it all, it's almost, you could grind it down and make it look perfect and it wouldn't be impressive, because it'd just look like any other spoon. But just leaving the dents in, not all the dents obviously, but things that just give it a bit of character, I think are fantastic, because it makes it handmade. Perception is reality. Whoop, shivers. Sorry everybody, that went everywhere. I hear this is good for the anvil, so let's hope that's true. Still very hot when I'm doing this, which is where I want it to be. Be careful of burning myself. And then I can go and bake this in the oven to give it a final curing, which I probably will do if we're going to be using this for food. That end is very hot. Woo. Alright, so that's the end. Here is my very first blacksmith spoon. And a big thank you again to Black Bear Forge, who was the inspiration behind that. He made a flux spoon for the workshop, and it inspired me to make this spoon, which ideally I'm going to be using inside sort of as a salad server and things like that. So I'm really happy with the result. This is obviously not a how-to. I am a novice blacksmith. This is me learning how to do things, and hopefully that's a little bit entertaining for the people watching. We're nearly up to 100 subscribers, which is amazing. So thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed. If you're liking what I'm doing here, then do subscribe, because there's a whole lot of new projects and new learnings that I'm going to be doing every week. Basically, I'm going to be releasing a video as I continue to get better, slowly getting better, I think, and work my way from novice to maybe amateur blacksmith. So give us a like, put us some comments below. If there's anything you'd like to see me doing, I would love to hear from you. And well, thank you so much for watching.